What it do? What it done did? You already know that I am because we are. What's going on, family? What's going on? What's really going on is I'm compelled to remind you of some important key issues that we should not take lightly and not overlook, and to give our consent to what's the word, sabotage ourselves. You don't want to sabotage whatever you do. You want to enhance whatever you do. And if you operate without these vital keys that has been given to you and will be given to you again, you have just consented on your own destruction. What we share, those who know about that much, that includes myself, we give freely because we know it can only help us all. We understand that it is not a factor to be a complete idiot. It is not a factor to be one who refuses to understand that he can control all and everything that appears outside of him. That he can even control other dimensions. That he can even control where he goes after he leaves this body. You say, man, how you listen? Consciousness moves faster than anything that they have told you. Consciousness has the ability to go through walls. Consciousness has the ability to be or go through or to emanate without no obstruction into anything, any part of matter, any particle, any light spectrum, any magnetic field, anything that they have told you about and have not told you about. Your consciousness penetrates it all. You know that. Consciousness can change the molecules in the water to become something more imminent to the progress or progression of whatever it is that you would like to apply this application to in the water molecule. Consciousness moves faster than anything, moves faster than light. They used to tell us that lie that nothing moves faster than light. Come on now. A black hole will bend light, suck it in. If it can bend light and suck it down into it, then must we move faster than light if light can't get the fuck up out of there? Eddie Griffin said that on one of his shows, in totality, word for word. Listen, these keys that you must hold on to, these keys that you must actually dedicate yourself to, is simply dedicating yourself to yourself, meaning observing the higher self. The lower self is a thing of the past. The lower self has got you right where you at. The lower self has controlled your whole ability to control the universe. Your lower self, the lower energy levels. How do we disconnect those, man? How do we stop operating from the lower chakras? It depends on if you want to stop. See, first of all, you have to want to stop. And for the reason being, because, see, You might be in a mode to think you are a gangster. You might be in a mode to think you are something similar. You might be in the mode to think you's a player. You might be in the mode to think you's this and then that and blase blase skippy doodah rah rah rah, right? Now, but if you know you are not that, then you should leave it alone. You know you're not that. You're more spiritual than you think you are physical. But if that's you, if that's what you do, G gangster, all that, woo wah. If that's what you do, proceed. Go ahead, do what you do. Do what it is you do. But if you know that is not you, then stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Because 99.9% of the time, it ain't you. It is not you. All right? Now, we have to come into cohorts or cahoots with our higher self. Our higher self streams wisdom. I don't mean stream as in verbal streaming. It streams wisdom in a stream. And the wisdom states, do you not know that a spirit needs a body to dwell in? Do you not know that the meat you eat has a spirit and it's dwelling in that body? Do you not know that spirit has a consciousness? Do you not know spirit and consciousness applies frequencies and thought patterns? Do you not know spirit has the ability to retain memory? Do you not know that the animals that you eat are conscious? They retain memory. They have projected apparatuses that only assist them and their makeup, their biology, their genetics. If one is to take those biological implications and chemical and neurotransmitters and to take that and to splice it with another animal, you would come up with a totally different animal other than the one and the other one that you spliced it with. Why am I saying that? I'm saying that because you eat this meat that is conscious, that is biodynamics is set up to produce, reproduce, and when it put it like this, when the cells that's in anything that's living is they used to think that the nucleus held the memory or held the was the computer, the nucleus, but they found out that they was wrong. What they had found out was that it is the membrane around the cell that holds the memory, that holds all the accessitivity or what have you. And they found out that the membrane was a crystal liquid membrane. It holds the memory. Now back to these animals. You eat the consciousness. You eat the memory. You eat the hard drive of an animal. You eat the CPU of an animal. You eat the processing speed even of the animal. You eat the processing frequency of the animal. Now, when you eat it, you actually is splicing its genetic characteristics right along with yours. Just as if you are genetically splicing vegetation or a plant, you come up with something else. The same thing you are reproducing, the same thing you are replicating within your body, you are producing something else, and it is consciousness that you're producing. The consciousness that you have by eating meats cannot be the meat alone, and it cannot be you alone. It is something totally different you have created in that vast void. The thing about this is the void, in that void, it is chaos. In that void, you have two forces that don't coincide with each other, that bickers, that arguments. There are fights, there are wars, there are battles that are lost and won. Why make your body, which is the temple, why do you make it a battlefield? By choice, by your decision. Everything works in the body for the body. Everything works in the body not against it. It is not one spot inside of your body where it produces chaos, where it produces produces retribution against one of its organs, or it seeks to dominate another part of the body. It is not in existence in the overall format and blueprint. But once you put a spirit, another consciousness, another hard drive, another processor, when you accept the download by eating this dead meat, now not only is this meat not living, it has now harnessed the conscious ability to draw to it faster than light all the elements that make it deteriorate. It has drawn to it all the elements that makes it do naturally what it's supposed to do: deteriorate, condensate, create another entity from its ashes, like the phoenix rising from the ashes. Another component that's rising up from it inside of you. When you give birth to something inside of you, it's supposed to be a woman giving birth to a child. It don't supposed to be a woman giving birth to Frankenstein or an alien. But see, the alien never comes out the body. This consciousness never comes out the body. It becomes the body and it speaks out the mouth. How do you know one is possessed by different spirits? It's not a metaphysical totality. You know, because he's eating meats. He has different spirits in him. What you eat? Chicken? Fish? What you eat? Beef? What you eat? Cat? Rat? Dog? I mean, what did you eat? It doesn't matter. They are different spirits. So you can actually, in totality, say that you are possessed, or could be qualified, or is qualified as being possessed. Demon. Demon. Not a man, but a demon. Possession. Spirit possession. Right in front of your face. Spirit possession. All over the place. Spirit possession. Right in your face. And here you is looking for poltergeist. Here it is, you looking around for the exorcist. See, it is right in front of your face, but on a different dimension. The keys that you must remember, man, woman, we are to sustain from this in totality. Hey, the animal has a heart, living lungs. It has feelings. In the Quran, in the Grand Al-Kitab, Prophet Muhammad of Arabia, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as they would say, peace be upon him, as they would say, would state, would you truly eat your own brother? Would you really eat your own brother? I used to ponder over that. And then it arrived. Spirits must have a body to dwell in. When a spirit leaves a body, it must find another body to dwell in. You know, you used to see those movies where the spirit jumped from this man to that person to this and that and all that type of stuff. See, this is a truth, but it's on a different dimension that you haven't comprehended nor even tried to ascertain exactly how could that be possible. But it's possible for you to understand when a woman has a child, another spirit has entered the planet. Do not conceive that our ancestors and great ancestors was eating meat. We were not eating meat. That concept is not live and let live. That concept is its original mandate is to only the strong survive. Only the strong survive. We are creators. If we created with that manifestation in our consciousness, only the strong survive, what will we be creating? And why create something to just get it killed by a natural process as far as a provider and a consumer? It consumes something and it provides consumption for something else. Why put this in operation? No, we didn't put it in operation, yet it came into being. We live and let live. Eating fruits, they have seeds which fall to the ground and can be replanted. The vegetables, planting, reap what you sow, sow what you reap. Dimensional, listen to me. Reap what you sow and sow what you reap. If you eating dead flesh, what you think you gonna reap? Right in front of your face, and you looking for poltergeist. The animal has light codes in it. Information being sent to an animal daily from its organs and from the universal organ itself, in and out daily from the sun, from the moon, sending these light codes in and out, from the trees, giving what it needs to. See, everything don't get everything that everything gets, meaning that what the tree gives off to the human may be different than what the dog catch, might be different than what the gorilla catch, and how it interacts with his inner being may be different than what the bird catch and how it interacts with its inner being. You understand? The process is the same, but the ingredients may have changed. Now, these light codes and consciousnesses that is turned on in the animal By the planet knowing what to send it if an earthquake is going to come, the dogs to start running in a circle. All this you have to think about. It's controlling it. You don't get to running in the circle. So what do you think is happening? What makes the dog do it? How does he know? Why come you don't know? Because you're eating things that makes your energy turn down. You haven't turned your energy up. You keep turning it down. You keep turning your energy down because you are adding lower frequency and lower vibrations to your macabre by your own consent. Stop eating meat. You will not only be stronger, better, healthier, energetic, and light. You'll get better rest. You'll need less rest. You'll be always ready to go. Your mind will be clear and free long as you eliminate the TV. Why must you eliminate the TV? These is keys. That one was the meat. The two is the TV. Now, TV. Television. You know and heard about it. The TV is continuously sending you light codes and consciousness, but synthetic light codes and consciousness, where one who wants you to operate in this field of energy that he shoots at you and bombards you into your bedroom, he wants you to operate just like that. He wants you to think and like what he shows you on TV. He wants you to pick from these Nikes. He wants you to get all this type of stuff. He wants you to spend money because of a holiday coming up. He's telling you that you should spend. You should, when there's no money, actually. I won't go there with this video. He wants you to spend, and he wants you to do this, and he wants you to do that. He wants you to look at these people and either like or hate them and then become them. He wants you to appear heart broken because someone in this box has set up a certain scenario and a certain scene that allows so much emotional energy to be distributed throughout your system that causes your system to flutter and function and react and respond in manners in which as if it was real. Don't you know, if a child seen 100 murders, wouldn't we instantly agree that that child may become problematic and have issues if he went up and seen so many murders? Or if a little girl seen her moms being raped over and over and over by her father or someone in the family. But you got to understand that the mind is where it impacts on. The subconscious is what holds it down. Meaning, when you go to sleep, they say you could die in your sleep. If you get pushed or jump off a building, if you don't wake up before you hit the ground, you could die. That tells you that the mind knows not the difference. The mind doesn't know the difference. The mind does not know the difference. So when you're looking at TV and you seeing all these killers, you seeing all these people getting shot, you seeing all this type of stuff, your body is actually going through the feelings and the emotional aspects as if it is actually seeing it, because the mind don't know the difference. People have heart attacks and strokes and all this type of stuff. When somebody jump on, boo, you be like, oh shit, that was crazy. But you felt that your pulses sped up, your blood fluctuating and speeding up, your blood pressure's going up, as if all this stuff is happening because that's what the mind has perceived. It is happening. You have thrown this crap up in your head. You have placed yourself as a sacrifice in between your temples. You are sacrificing your whole damn third eye. You are sacrificing your connection with false lights and with real responses to those false lights, you are altering your life. You are taking from the substantiated centers that is going to give you longevity. You are diminishing metaphysically. You are diminishing. You don't see this. He knows this. He knows this. That why they say black folks, in their words, black folks age should be 25, or dying should die before the age of 25, or however they put it. How can he conceive that? If he knows what he's doing, he can conceive that, because he's doing it right through that television, letting you believe or conceive that these wars across the seas, and we're going to be doing this, and we're thinking about the new world order, and we're going to do this, and all this, and get you all shook up and shook up, scared by what they're going to do. They don't even possess the powers of projection. So they get you, the ones that have the ability to project, through their neural centers, through their melanin, through their receptors of the universe, through their pineal glands that's not calcified. A lot of people really truly don't even understand why they bombed Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Yeah, they was at war with Germany, and Japan supposedly came over and bombed Pearl Harbor. That's what they said. Then they went after Japan, Hiroshima and Nagasaki. They said and showed us, okay, and showed us that Pearl Harbor was bombed. Big enough reason, huh? To drop a bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, because Pearl Harbor was bombed. Pearl Harbor was bombed. 7 fleets, 8 fleets, 9 fleets, 6 foot, 7 foot, 8, whatever. These fleets of ships, of brothers and sisters, and everyone who supposedly was there in this harbor on these ships died. So they bombed Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Real quick, the people in Nagasaki, listen to it, Naga. You got to do your study if you don't know what I'm talking about. Naga, it's the Naga serpent. Naga. Listen, I'm not going to do it for you. Not this one. Now, this is hieroglyphic communications. You got to do a little study. We're going to definitely define and show you just as much as we should show you. And that's going to be more than what others have been talking about, because they don't even let you know the dimension is offset, and about the retarded of the timing. They won't even give it to you. They'll give it to you on the word, yeah, that's right, and all this. And it's like, just like some type of ongoing conversation that you have at a bar or something. You know what I mean? It's nothing, and it's on and off to whatever it was you were doing. It's things of this nature. But anyway, we're gonna continue to do what we do, and that is to stay on this track, and give you the third key. Wait. Let me finish the second key. The TV clouds your mind. The TV controls your mind. Your thoughts and the things you do, the way you talk, the way you walk. Who haven't who let's give you an example. Denzel Washington. He plays a part, and then you try to play the part that he playing by acting like this dude. um, you trying to play an illusion that he already knew was an illusion when they gave him the strip, and it wasn't him. But you say Denzel Washington, but you see his walk, uh, you see how he talk. That is a part of you, brother. He is a manifestation of a part that's in you. A part. You can't take a part in a movie. You talk about you want a piece of the pie. It's your pie. Why do you want a part in a movie when it's your movie? Why do you want? Let's get back to the Naga. The Naga. Nagasaki. Black folk. Hiroshima. Listen. Hiroshima. Hiroshima. Nagasaki. These were brothers. The landmass was dark melanated, very anciently accommodated with the esoterics. These brothers over there was walking through walls. These brothers over there was levitating up. Hitler knew about it. Hitler wanted to attack them next. But since Hitler was, I'm going to go so far as to say that he was, uh, you know how they put somebody in position like they did in Iran, put the Shah of Iran up there, and it was his boy, United States boy, but he became, you know what I'm saying, the Shah of Iran, and how they manipulated all these events and different things to to make it manifest that he becomes the Shah of Iran. All right, look, Germany. So they go to war with one of their brothers, and then in turn drop atomic bombs on Nagasaki and Hiroshima. Well, see, could that have been a false flag war? It was a long false flag, wasn't it? If such an event took place. Nevertheless, am I defying or denying that World War II existed? Yeah, to a certain extent. To a certain extent, why not? Hey, it doesn't matter what I think anyway, right? Nevertheless, these people over there was doing some real stuff. You know why? Because they didn't have a TV, they meditated, they ate right, and they did exactly what the downloads from the meditation was giving them. Proper breathing. They was doing Tai Chi, Qi Kong. They was doing everything by nature. The winter, the solstices and the equinox, they were doing rituals. Okay? They were utilizing the energy. Wherever your attention is, your energy follows. Your energy follows wherever your attention goes. If you watching cops, your energy is going there. If you watching Nicki Minaj, your energy follows there. If you watching anything outside of yourself, your energy goes outside of yourself. If you watch anything inside, guess what? Your energy stays inside. Your energy actually start to coincide with everything that's supposed to be in place and in position and in formation, and it stays there like a soldier ready on the go. Not, oh man, they tired of standing in formation because you ain't even gave them no orders. You have much power inside of you. Okay, much power. The body has, I think, 1,025 BTUs. Okay, and the heat, I can't at this moment retract how much heat. Nevertheless, the body is a nuclear reactor. It is a particle accumulator. It is a particle accelerator. It is a massive generator. It is a absolute organic resonator. It is also everything that in the technical field will never be able to duplicate. But it can be assimilated by a computer, but never duplicated by a computer. Meaning, the computer can do everything the mind can do. And we think that's the fast speed of a computer, but your mind is much faster. It's just the information that you put into the hard drive that the gas yours going slow. It's just all these religions and all this schooling that teaches you too much of nothing. All these jobs that keep you on a goal, which gives you this fake monopoly money, this fiat, this fiat money. You better go. Hey, for ones who want to know, go look up House Joint Resolution 192. Go back to 1933 and find out what happened in Geneva at the Geneva Convention. Find out why was the UCC laws created in the first place. There's some study for y'all. Check that out. All right. House Joint Resolution 192. Nevertheless, there is outstanding work that can be done with one who cuts off the TV and don't eat meat. How powerful the mind is. How your mind gonna become powerful if you eating dead meat that's causing the universe to draw to it everything that degenerates. All the codes and information inside of that meat now is entangled in your DNA. The DNA can be altered and changed within minutes daily by what you intake. You don't think so? Why is it that a woman is told while she is pregnant for these 9 months or 10 months or what have you, do not smoke cigarettes, do not do this, do not drink that, do not eat this? Why? Because it alters and structures her DNA in that child, and that child can come out with that in his DNA. So what does that tell you? That tells you that your DNA alters every moment, especially by the moment in which you ingest something. It changes. It changes. Now, I really want to go somewhere with the DNA, but not on this video. Okay, now, so do you think that the abilities that you have, and when I say you got to understand who you are. I'm talking about God abilities, not God-like abilities. I'm talking about God abilities. They say God is the superior being, right? God is the superior being. So in order to be a being, you have to be a being, which is a being that is superior. Now, if we look at the animals and things of this nature, we know that the human, the so-called human, or the so-called, let's just say the so-called body that has 2 arms and 2 legs, is superior over the animals, because the body that has 2 arms and 2 legs creates the buildings and draw out the formats and do all this and creates all this illusionary things that you see in this Mayan world. This illusionary world, right? So we know the being with the two legs and the two arms are superior over the animals. Now we also know that the so-called black man, or the so-called Moor man, or the so-called African, all these titles that means nothing. Okay, just another dimension to keep your butt in, that you really don't know who the hell you are. But nevertheless, we're gonna use these titles just for this formatting. All right, this formication, fornication. But nevertheless, we we know that the black man, medically, genetically, is superior. I'm gonna say over all of the races, or so-called races or classifications, just through his melanin, just through the liquid crystal, okay, of the cells of the melanin. And that's not a racist or so racist. That's not a racist or what was that other word that starts with a D? I'm um. It is not racist. It is not prejudice, and you are not discriminating when you say that the black man by genetics is superior. The black man, so-called, don't need suntan lotion. The sun is to give life to the planet through photosynthesis. White people, 84,000 of them die a year of sun cancer. Now, the sun gives life to the planet through photosynthesis. Why is something that gives life to the planet is giving death, vitamin death, to somebody else? Just like what I said about the trees may be giving something else to the leaves. The trees might be giving something else to me. The trees might be giving something else to the monkey. The sun is giving life to us. It's giving us vitamin D. It gives a certain group death. Now, this is just truth. Now, where where could we get knowledge of self if we don't get it from ourselves? Knowledge of self is to look inward. You must look inward. First of all, you have to be one spirit, not six, by eating chicken, fish, turkey, what have you. Okay? You have one spirit. Bring that back to one spirit. Expel those demons out of you. Okay? Expel those demons out of you. Don't worry about this. I'll talk to you about this later. And all this like this, don't let it scare you. Calm down. Talk to you about it later. Listen, there's nothing to worry about. Nothing. Don't be spooky. Pooky. Listen. Now, once the spirit is back in accord with the body, then, then, then you can start to begin your energy work with your chi. You know, they say crystal energy work. You are the crystal. You are the liquid crystals. You can use crystals still, though, because the alchemists use them only to get familiar with the physical. But all the time, he understands the mentality and the mental of the situation. Well, he gradually learns the mentality and the mental of the situation. And then when he grasps it, he does away with the crystals. Unless he wants to utilize it for some purpose that he sees fit. See, a lot of people say, well, what crystals are these? Why did you put it on this? These are small paradox, okay? And I put it on there to control other people. You say, well, why you want to control other people? No, I didn't say I wanted to. I said I put it on there so it can control other people. I said, how is that shit gonna control another person? It got you asking about it, right? Nevertheless, conversation piece. But what is conversation? An exchange of information. Keep it simple. I don't keep it simple. I just keep it like it's supposed to be. And that's more powerful than keeping it simple. You know, you don't have to speak about what's already known or understood. So why speak? Why even I have to think about keeping something simple when I really, truly, in the mechanism in which it is bought, need not say nothing because it's already understood. It should be already understood. Nevertheless, the TV teleports in your head, crystallizes in your head, forms and structures of ignorance, stupidity, degradation, genocide, everything, all mechanisms are totally in array to combat each other, combat each other, combat each other, combat your thoughts. You think you all slick and smooth and crap like this, but all the time you're a mixture between uh, LL Cool J, 50 Cent, and Buffy the Vampire Slayer or some type of shit. You understand? These ain't not even you. When you are brought up, you have brothers and sisters. If you have brothers and sisters, don't you think you have a little bit of their traits and their ways? Right, right. You act just like your brother. You act just like your mama. You know, he acts just like his grandfather that he never even seen. What then? What if this can be stated? What do you think is happening when you watching that box all day, all day? All this ignorant crap is thrown at you, and you be like, yeah, you know, that you think it's cool to, you know, say all this that some wizard has sat down, these scientists have sat down. Look at some of these shows, man. It's scientists in the damn dialogue and in the names that they show. It's psychologists, the magician. It's psychologists in the damn dialogue. The Simpsons. Look at any of that. Nevertheless, it is a good in it, but it's more worse than it is good. Okay? And everything that appears to be good, it is a little bad in it, but it is more good than it is bad. Vice versa. Stop eating the meats, stop watching TV. Because by doing these two, especially stopping the TV, will allow you to start thinking. Things that's in your head, it'll start registering and start working out for you. Uninterrupted. No obstruction. It'll start. This is a master computer. This computer that's down here with these keys that I'm looking at this webcam and trying to speak to myself, trying to speak to the we that we are, trying to give out information in light ways and better ways, is ultimately trying to place you where you should start from. I'm just giving a reference point. The reference point is that when you shut off all them channels that you've been watching, the channels are still open, but the channels that you're going to start receiving stuff is going to come from the ancestors. And the stuff that you might have in the hard drive going to start turning on each other. And they're going to start to finding out, why do you exist here? Who are you? How did you get here? Who sent you? And they're going to start coming at each other. And that is, it could be a little refreshing It's geared on clarity. Clarity. It's going to start to begin to work for you instead of against you. Your mind is going to start. When things pop up in your head, it ain't going to be Lil Wayne. Ain't going to be Nicki Minaj. Ain't going to be Mary and it's the God in me. Yeah, sing it. That's all you could do. Is that all you could do? That's all you could do. Whatever. Nevertheless, we, us, I cannot be at optimal or ultimate operation in no way by eating meat and watching TV. If you talk to a person that watches a lot of TV, you can just look at them and say, mm, mm. You can see everything that they're not, yet and still they're trying to be. Ain't never found themselves. Never found themselves. Cut off the TV, look inside, find yourself. Now, find yourself. I used to hear that when I was Muslim, when I was 18. You know what I mean? Study self, study self. Okay, when you and things that and actually I never knew how to study self. I said, what do I study? The way I wake up, to what I do. I mean, what I do is, I mean, I was lost. I was like, study self, but study self. It sounds good, but how do you do it? Nevertheless, studying yourself, you can't study self if you're eating chicken, eating fish, because you're studying them. They're talking to you. They inside of you, streaming and trying to find out what the hell's going on and why they're not in the dimension that they supposed to be on. Why they in your ass? Why is information coming in yet and still trying to take them into another dimension, but yet and still they caught up within you receiving these codes, destroying you, becoming more toxic in your body, sitting there changing chemical compositions over and over and over to the point where your system can't even, it's just crazy. Them thoughts are coming from them animals that's in you. You know what I mean? Animals, and they fight the consciousness that you have. That's why a person can talk to you and say something to you spiritually and very informative, and you be like, yeah, right, yeah. That ain't even you talking. That's all them hamburger Ross. That's all them fries. That's all that Kentucky Fried Chicken. That's all that barbecue. That's all them. That's all them chips, cookies, cakes. That's all of that. Consciousness. It is conscious, man. It is conscious. And it is speaking through you. So how you can never ever find yourself eating meat. Okay, I ain't gonna say can't never ever, but because I'm sure it had to be somebody who has, due to some studying, some in-depth yogi study, but the the risk factor of you trying to find yourself competing with 6 other nagas that's inside of your ass is you know what I'm saying, and especially looking at the tube that got you construed and deflected and discombobulated in a manner that you won't even see why the hell you want to look for yourself. You got bills to pay. You got baby that needs shoes. You got a brother that need bail money. You got all this outside of you, and you still so funny to me. Nevertheless, the third key, run back through the keys. 1, stop eating meat. 2, stop watching the TV. Man, cut the TV off, unplug it, put it outside, give it to somebody who you know that probably can utilize it till they catch up with themselves. You know what I mean? Get rid of it. Don't watch the TV. Don't read the newspaper. Why do you want your body to be put into shock again, to listen to all this negativity, all these low frequencies, all this stuff that ain't looking forward to a better moment, all this stuff that ain't looking forward to a better feeling, ain't looking forward to a higher frequency? Number 3 is, hold on, no TV, no meats, not in that order, but no TV and no meat. The third one is the ultimate energy that you seek. You must seek. If energy is what you need, you must seek it. If power is what you need, you must seek it. And I ain't talking about power to enforce something. I'm talking about power for you to stand up, upright. Power that you can focus your inner dynamo, the sun that's in you, to shine forth and bring it outside of you. That you form like an eggshell around you. Do you think you could do that? It can be done. The light shines inside of you. The light shines in the darkness, but the darkness comprehended it not. Well, if you comprehend in the darkness, inside, and you see the light, then you only have to meditate and pull or stretch or expand the light from the little small place that you're going to find it outside of your body. Now you can't pull it all the way, you know what I'm saying, so far out. But you can pull it. Even if you can't get it outside of yourself, you pull it out as much as you can. Then on your next meditation, you see it, the energy, what you focus on, energy follows. So if you focusing on this energy metaphysically in your imagination, in the fourth dimension, which is your imagination, you focus in energy inside, you see the light with your eyes closed, you make the light spread out. You make it spread out. Even if you can't get it farther than this right here, then when you meditate again, you pull it some more. Pull it outside of you. Pull your aura out yourself. Make it a shield. This can all be spoke because where conscious goes, energy flows faster than light. Faster than light. But continuation is a must. You must continue. You must continue. People say, I see a glow around you. They talking about that baby oil on your face. No. They're talking about that aura. They're talking about this energy. They're talking about this power that should be inside of the brother, but it's all on his arms and all on his head. What and how do you choose to use this energy? What and how do you choose to find, or how do you find this energy? You find this energy by demonstrating and, let's say, becoming familiar with Tai Chi. Tai Chi is an ancient energy cultivating system. It cultivates the energy. I'm gonna sum this up real quick. Like the energy of chi is it, man. It is something that all seekers of spirituality, all seekers of advancement in self, all seekers of self-knowledge needs to know, because it places one in balance with themselves. It places the mind in balance with the body. Okay, it places the soul in balance, mind body connection. It places the soul in actually it places the soul in a I might be saying this wrong slightly, but by saying it places the soul. But what it does is makes the soul appearance more applicationable. No, you don't get that? Okay. It places one to perceive a soul in a way that it is connected in a manner that is only disconnected because you are not centered. But once you center, see how my hands are going? They're not centered. You know what I mean? They look like they're connecting, but they off. And this is what's happening. When every time mind and body tries to connect, it's off centered. It's going, but it's off centered. And if you were to look at this as a formulation, you say, what the heck kind of crap? I mean, what's going on with that? I don't know. And you still rolling around with the same functioning. Tai Chi gives you balance. It brings you to your center, 0 point, and it gives you command. You know, your left hemisphere of the brain and the right hemisphere of the brain does not naturally coincide without practice of the Tai Chi. You know, the exercise that you do, you know, this exercise that when you do, okay, your left hand is controlled by your right brain. Your right hand is controlled by your left brain. So we know if we utilize and put them together like this here, all right? And what we do is we take and go like a typewriter, right? One like this. This is kind of foolish on this computer right here, but it's ways that you use this finger, and when you use this finger, you use the thumb, and so you go like this. You go, let's see, like this. You can't see that. Damn it. Okay, and you go back like this. Okay, you see what I'm doing? You go from the thumb and the pinky down like this, just sitting on the table, you know. Now, why you do that is you pulling, you know, they say monatomics make the brain and the right hemisphere equalize out and all this. Well, you could do that just by doing this, man. You know, you could. What you're doing is utilizing both brain functions at both brain hemispheres at the same time, and you actually are calibrating them. But if you don't do this, you're more out of focus. You understand? And so when you doing your chi, when you breathing and pushing out and then sucking in, as you go back, you inhale. As you move your hands forward, you exhale, but you exhale at the moments slowly. And at the edge, when you start inhaling, your hands must be coming back. Now your feet is doing a little something too. You got a lot of stuff going on when you're doing Tai Chi. A lot of stuff, man. All right. When your feet is planted correctly, when you push out, you're going to the toe of your extended foot. And when you come back, you're breathing in and you're raising up on the heel, lifting up your toes off the ground. Then when you push out again, you're breathing out and your toe is slowly going toward the ground again. And then it touches down and then it lifts back up because now you're sucking in. I'm just giving you this little information just to get you familiar with what you're doing. Now, then how you find your center. So now you get all that going slow. All right, slow. It all goes slow in the rhythmic breathing. Now, and another thing about Tai Chi, real quick, it might look stupid when you outside and you at, well, let's say you at college or whatever, and you on break or whatever, you want to take a break, and you go out there and you start doing some Tai Chi. People say, look at this fool, ass fool, blah, 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 blah. Man, skip all that, Jack. You know what I'm saying? You know what you're doing. You know what you're doing. Well, let them have them Pepsis and go over there and eat them chicken wings and stuff like that there. You go and do your Tai Chi. You know, be willing to express yourself. All right. So now you go over there and you doing your stuff, right? And you balancing yourself, you centering yourself. You know, a lot of times, man, what I find that what happens is once I start centering myself, now I do Tai Chi every day. I might miss a day here or something due to factors, you know, compiled. But nevertheless, I find that my center, like when I'm doing something, I never, like in the 48 laws, it says, never appear in a rush. Anyway, time doesn't exist. Another thing, when I take my time in doing something, like I'm just taking a shower, I'm taking my time and I'm I'm saying I'm making my body vibrate to a higher dimension, putting it back on course, right? So anyway, I'm taking my time, you know what I'm saying? And and they're all in my mind. I'm thinking that I'm cleansing my body, but not the outside. I'm cleansing the cells. See, my consciousness is penetrating my skin and going straight to the cells. I'm moving away parasites. I'm cleansing this temple. You know, I am purifying this temple. I am cleansing this temple. Consciousness travels faster than light. It leaves light at the dang starting line. It's gone. It's out of it even left and got to where it wanted to go before you heard it. You heard? For real, for real. Now, so anyway, getting back on course, getting back in touch with your, not getting back in touch, because you ain't never been in touch with your center. So you getting in touch with your center. And when you find that balance, man, what I have been known to understand about doing the Tai Chi is when I'm speaking to someone or going somewhere or doing whatever it is I may be doing, things outside of me align up. Like if 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 I was to get in a car and drive, the lights allow me to go on down the street when they all turn in green. I turn up in a gas station. Something may happen where I need to make a call. I sit in the car and make this call, and it might take 8 minutes. And by the time I'm through with the call, I open up the door and I see somebody that I was looking for at the gas station, at the gas pump. Had I not been calm or had I not been relaxed and took my time about what I was doing and handled my functions making this call, I'd have missed this one that showed up. Centering ourselves, I find it through my study and my application of Tai Chi, is actually making particles move out of the way and only making particles come into existence in which I facilitate, because I don't have all that garbage of the TV in my head. See, a lot of people uh, 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 go to certain places and run straight into their enemies. What's up now? You know what I'm saying? And all this type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Can't seem to, they got to leave town somewhere. You know what I'm saying? The things of this nature. You know, trying to be who they ain't all the dang time. You know what I mean? Running their mouth when they should just, come up out of that box, man. That box is going to get you right there in that box and stayed in that box and buried in that box. You heard me? Now, and it's not all about all what you think. You know, Tai Chi ain't no punk, ain't no chump. It leave lumps too. You heard me? Tai Chi is defense. You understand? It's defense. When you see him out there going slow like this, you know what I mean? Because the body have a certain way that in slow movements, but when put in hyperdimension, it retains the information that came from the slow movement. And it retains that. And it'll move and strike out fast in hyperdimensions. Hyperdimensions, you can come and do all kind of stuff to somebody. You understand what I'm saying? You can do all kind of stuff, but you're not trying to do nothing. Only thing you're trying to do is stop him. So everything you're doing is, first of all, you're going to be much faster than him. You know, like on the Matrix, they said you have to be faster than the agents. Well, you ain't gonna be faster than the agents if your ass is not at 0 point. Do Tai Chi, finding your center. You're not gonna be faster than nobody. Somebody gonna wop wop whoop wop your butt. You heard me? Now anyway, we ain't worried about getting into no conflicts and no confrontations with nobody, cause we're not looking forward to that. You know what I'm saying? Cause we protected by Viper. You know, that Naga serpent. That's that Kundalini, that Chi, that inner Chi. And we wake him up like this with the chi. You know, you'd be surprised if you got into something. I pity the fool. You heard me? I pity the fool. But I'm not looking for the fool, right? And I'm not going to play one to catch one. Not at this moment. Nevertheless, those are the three keys, all right? Use the three keys. Don't eat meat, all right? Along with the meat, don't eat products like cookies, candy, chips, cookies, anything that's processed. That's a no-no. Milk, bread, butter, all that stuff is ignorant. All that stuff is chemicals. And I'm gonna make a video speaking about chemicals and what they are. You know what I'm saying? And not I'm not gonna list not one damn chemical. What I'm gonna tell you is the concept of a chemical and what a concept of a chemical does when you put it in your body. It is a concoction. It is just like taking Tylenol, but it looks like a cupcake. But they ain't telling you what this Tylenol type of factor chemical is doing to your butt. It is uh, a penicillin pill that you can take. But when you take that Hershey candy bar, it's just like the same as taking a pill because it is not food. It is a chemical. It is a chemical tetradoctrine and all these long words under this stuff that you don't even know what it is. And you for some dumb reason you think it's food. You think it's filling. You can swallow air enough and your belly become full. Them other keys, all right? No meat. Stay away from meat and meat animal products. Stop watching TV. You got a lot of money, pick the TV up and throw it out of your damn front door. Huh? Drive up with it in the back of your truck to somebody you don't even know on the street and give it to them. For real, for real. All right. Number 3 is learn Tai Chi. Practice Tai Chi. Go on YouTube, hit in uh, Chi Power or just simple Chi. Look at a couple demonstrations. They got 8-minute videos, 10-minute videos, an hour videos of showing you how to do it step by step. And just start. Start, and you'll see. Man, look, I'll be walking. I'm going to tell you this one instance. And I can't do nothing but understand that it is causing particles to miss me. Like in a particle smasher or a particle accelerator, you find that certain particles only align with certain particles. And no matter how fast their ass is moving, they will not hit nor smash what they're not supposed to hit or smash. They only smash what they are drawn to. Boom. You know what I'm saying? What they are drawn to. Now, if these are different particles, each fingernail is different particles. They're only going to hit what they need to hit. No matter where they need to go, they're going to hit that. No matter how fast they're moving in that particle accelerator. No matter how fast. So this is almost like finding yourself and centering yourself is placing you in a position outside of yourself to miss certain particles. I was walking, right, from the gas station. I live right around the block from the gas station, right? This happened 2 times. Now, normally, if I'm walking somewhere, don't no one stop and say too much or nothing. You know what I mean? Unless they know me. No one stops me that don't know me and say speaks about anything that, you know what I'm saying, that's out of the ordinary as far as giving a person a ride. Well, nevertheless, let me just tell you how it with this little slightly thing happened, right? Which was not a thing, was just simple understanding of the level in which it was brought about. I'm walking down the side street. I mean, well, it's not a side street; it's a main street, right? Michigan. And I'm walking down this Michigan street, and I'm saying to myself, man, this is exactly how it goes down, for real, for real. I say to myself in my head, in my inner mind, I wonder why people ride past people that don't even need to know nobody just to stop them and ask them if they need a ride. And at that very exact minute, all right, at the very exact minute I finish the thought in my head, a car pulls up right alongside of me and slows down. You know, I didn't. I have no worry, no fear, no guilt or nothing like that. I, I normally would have thought it was a cop. None of that appeared. None of that appeared because I don't even see cops. I don't even see none of this goofy stuff. I don't pay no attention to them. Therefore, they do not appear in my reality. So, nevertheless, this car slowed up right alongside of me, and I looked down, and some dude in there is a white cat. He says, "Hey, guy, you need a ride?" Now it's winter out here. You know, it's been blizzards out here at this time, right? But I only live right around the block. But as I was thinking to myself, I wonder why people nowadays don't stop and give somebody a ride. And here comes this white cat. Boom, and this little, I don't know what it was. Looked like I don't know, just one of them small little cars. Now, he was like, I was like, I live right around the block, man. He was like, well, I mean, it's cold out here. I was like, appreciate it, man. I take that. Normally, I don't take rides from people, period. But I figured out now that I'll miss the road by, um, I'll miss the path or something that has been placed before me for me by rejecting the hand that sends it out. So I said, okay, all right, I'll go for that. I open up the car, get in there, you know, boom, boom. I was like, what's happening with you, man? I appreciate it, man. You know, and he was like, oh, no problem, man. And then he pointed in the back, and he had a what we call them? I forget the name of it. Can't think of it right now. It was a karate uniform, white karate uniform, right, with tattoos all over it, you know, big fists over here and all that. And he says, yeah, I'm a taekwondo instructor. I said, whoa, really? Well, how about that one? How about that one? You kidding me, right? He was like, nah, you see the uniform back there? I'm an instructor. I was like, yeah. I said, do you know about Tai Chi? He was like, no, just taekwondo. I was like, oh man, cause I have a whole library of shit pulled up in my head to ask him if he had known about Tai Chi. Nevertheless, I went on home. I mean, he drove me on to the house, and I got out and I gave him a couple of my cards for hieroglyphic communications. I do different applications other than movies and videos and commercials. Nevertheless, I thought that rather centered. You heard me? I thought that rather bringing a particle together that was passing and could not go past without connection. All right. And these are the things that happens, man. Things just move out your way. And I ain't talking about being sidestepping by eating meats and eating brownies and watching TV. It ain't gonna work because your neurotransmitters is transmitting too much damn information, so you can't help but to hit all kind of shit. You get it? You can't help but to hit all kind of shit by letting all this shit permeate up in your head. Permeate, permeate all this goddamn crap, man. All these damn entities all up in your hard drive, man. Delete the hard drive, man. You know what I'm saying? You got how many gigs? Well, you got 2 megabytes left in there and shit. You overpowered with shit, man. Delete that crap, get rid of that crap, and I'll be right forward, right back, right forward. All right, right back, right forward. All right, y'all, man. I hope I summed that up okay. 3 things: no meat, no animal products, no TV. Give it to somebody. Give it to your enemy. Give him something to think about, soldier. Drive up over there and honk the horn and be setting it on this damn curb and tell him, hey, you can get that if you want that, man. Whatever. Become inventive. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Nevertheless, and learn Tai Chi. All right? All right, y'all. I'll be back at y'all, man. Peace. I am why? Because we are.